Hey one hail, welcome back to the channel, and today we're taking a look at Legacy United Quake, and we're going to compare him and his target masters to my custom siege battle masters that I've redone as the target masters, and to Titan's Return Quake. How good or bad is Legacy United Quake? We're about to find out together in the latest GotBot True review. Hey one hail, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share, of course subscribe, and while you are at it, light 'em up, baby. Yeah, hit the notification bell, it helps me out a ton. Let you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all of the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that's in the description down below, also in the description down below, and if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through Spring, or of course, hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. This guy actually appeared on the fan-voted worst list for 2024. Do I think he was worth putting on that? Well, we're going to find out when we dive into everything to do with this guy. And there's no better place to start than by heading over to the table and taking a look at this trio. And yes, indeed, today we look at the Legacy United Quake, along with Heater and Tiptop. I wasn't going to get this because I actually thought we had two Titan's Return versions of Quake in the house. One that belonged to my son, one that belonged to me. However, I only seem to be able to find one of them. I don't know what happened to the other. So, when I happened to see this in store, I said, you know what, this is a great opportunity to ensure that he has a version of Quake and I have a version of Quake. This is the box. I mean, we see Quake down here in his tank mode with Heater and Tiptop. Over here we have a close-up of his face and him holding Heater and Tiptop. Your typical Legacy United artwork over on this side, or half of it anyway. And of course back here you can see him holding both of them, or you can hold them in one hand if you want him to for some weird reason. And of course his tank mode. Note that on the tank here there's a lot more black than what we actually got. Even his legs here are black. That actually turned out to be gray in the final, and I think it was to the better, honestly. So just something worth noting there, a little different about the artwork. Oh, we've got a nice big sheet of instructions, and you know what? They're super duper effective. I found these really easy to follow. We also have the top of the tank turret in the box. Really, you can fold it up like this, and this will plug, well, there's a peg on his back that this will plug on over. And when you plug it on, it looks like that. And now we have, he comes with Heater. I have a custom Siege Battle Master painted as Heater. And I mean, based on the animation, Heater should have black lower legs and blue thighs. Both of them have that. The pelvis should be this like pinky purpley color, which I have a touch of over there on the custom. The main body should be black, though I left the body gray there. It was just easier than painting the whole thing. Plus he had the black peg. This one obviously is more accurate. The arms, they should be kind of bluey on the upper arm and black on the lower arm, which I tried to paint there. But this guy, of course, has blue up here and black down here. Now, Siege Battle Master has, of course, the arms that can go around and T-pose, the legs that kick forward, back, and can do the splits. No knees, no elbows. And my custom has just your regular Siege, I guess, like blaster piece on the back. When it comes to the new one here, zero articulation, so a zero score there. For the overall look, I mean 10 for G1 Heater, and for transformation, I mean, there you go, it's transformed. Literally no different than the G1. Literally no different. This is exactly what the G1 would have done with no articulation and just transform in. It's nice that we have the blaster, but man, why didn't you just use the Siege Battle Masters and make a sensible blaster? Just a suggestion. Exact same thing done here with Tiptop. Again, I used a darker purple and a darker orange, but you know what? The legs, they should be purple. Best I can tell, the whole leg should be purple. So this upper part of the leg, actually, I don't know if that's quite right. I guess it is to the like G1 toy. And I did paint the upper thigh red as well. Around the pelvis, hips is orange. I did that. The shoulders, they should be orange with purple arms. I did that. The head should be purple, which I also did. And not for nothing, but my Siege Battlemaster version actually has a custom barrel piece, courtesy of our buddy Grimlock Gone. So taking him out of it, I prefer the Siege ones. Again, I think those are the molds that exist that should have been used. This guy, same thing as his buddy, basically. 0 for the articulation, 10 for the overall look, and the transformation is, there you go, done, again, that's it. I mean, neither of them got much of a transformation. I mean, a 1, you're literally just flipping one piece. So they're definitely not the stars of the show. Actually, this isn't even all the way down. There you go, now it is. They're not even the stars of the show. That, of course, would be Quake, who is dual-wielding both of these guys. Putting him up under the fist was a bit of a chore. It's a tight fit, man. Naturally, I think most people would, you know, do something more akin to this, right? And I suppose it's only fair that I show him next to the Titans Return. Let's just kind of get both of these guys in frame a little bit more with my 2 custom Siege Battlemasters in hand. Naturally, this one, the Titans Return, is more stylized, it's darker, it's grittier. The new one, certainly brighter, eye-popping, for sure. I mean, here they both are, right? I think for me, I would like to take him out of it, and pardon my arm across the screen here, and take him out of it, and we're going to take him out of it, and we're going to take him out of it, just so we can see Quake next to Quake. Both of these guys have tremendous head sculpts. Of course, the Titans Return one, it comes off, it's chasm, but I love the Titans Return, and I love the darker colors, no doubt about it. And the Titans Return was certainly good for its time. Because Quake is one of those characters that only appeared in comic books, it's a little harder to kind of nail down his colors, so we're going to actually compare him to his his G1 release rather than the animation, because the comics always had issues with some of the colors, right? Starting from the feet, I guess I'm working our way up. Quake should have black feet. Both of them have that. He should have gray lower legs. Both of them have that. He should have more, I don't know, like lavender maroon type of color. No, not lavender. I don't know what we would call it. Like a weird maroony color for the upper legs, which the Legacy one has. The Titans Return, not so much, except right up by the hips. The pelvis, the torso should be blue. They're both blue. It should be a bright blue, so the Legacy one, again, takes the win there. But there should be silver on the chest, which the Titans Return got. And while there's added blue detail on the chest, it's not silver. The arms, they should basically be all gray. I would say the Titans Return one kind of takes it there, because we have more colors on the Quake arms here. And for both of them, a gray head with a gold face. They both have that. I think they're both successful in the coloration, but in different ways. So we're going to take the Titans Return out of it. He's going to take the win in terms of being a G1 representation. Why? Because he's just the better G1 representation. The Titans Return is great, wonderful, I love it, but it's stylized. I'm going to say that for look here, man, we have a solid, I'm going to say a solid 8. I'm going to say it's a solid 8. Maybe even 8.5, but I'm going to settle on an 8. I'm very happy to say that him, along with both of these guys, and the backpack, everything in package, is a whopping 95 grams. We need more big, well-engineered, nicely colored deluxes. If you want to charge us what you charge us for a deluxe, man, give us our money's worth. And I think this guy might just fill that bill. So with an 8, let's do the articulation. The head goes left and right. Just a wiggle up and down, but not really anything worth talking about. Arms, they can go all the way around. T-pose all the way out to the side. We have a elbow, little over 90 degrees actually. Bicep swivel, nothing at the wrist. I just popped the wrist off. Nothing at the wrist. We have a waist here. We have legs that can kick, you know, all the way forward. Legs that can kick all the way back. We have a thigh swivel. Bit hollow in here. That's a bit disappointing, but at 95 grams, I'm not complaining. Splits all the way out to the side. And yes, we do have a super deep ankle tilt. Way more impressed with the articulation here than I thought it was going to be. Compared to the Titan's Return, the Titan's Return doesn't have a waist and doesn't have an ankle tilt. So, I mean, yeah, the articulation is better here. I'm going to give the articulation, man, I don't know, a wrist maybe. I'm going to say 9.5 for the articulation for sure. So we're doing an 8, a 9.5. I mean, we're looking at 8.75, right? 8.75. Really good. Then we get to the transformation, and it's amazing that this is a reuse, so to speak. Slight tweak and change, but basically a reuse of Skullgrin. And a lot of people didn't like Skullgrin. The transformation here is so much its own, though, that, man, I don't know if you're even going to notice that this is a Skullgrin reuse. So, let's begin by just bringing that down for now and leaving it out. We're going to also fold in the two hands, and we're going to bring down the chest. You'll notice there's a slider in here, so we're going to fold all of this up. And the arms here are on a slider, so we need to push the arms up, and then we bring the arms in. When we bring the arms in, oh, I gotta turn them around, I'm sorry. When we bring the arms in, there's a space over here and a little black tab there, and the two arms will, or should, there you go, snap together. Great. Bring that piece down, rotate this around, and you can even start to bring that down for now. You're not going to finish it off yet or anything though. So, we got all that. Actually, I think I'm supposed to leave it this way and bring it down, if I'm not mistaken. Note, if you fold this all the way down and then try to fold this up, you're going to have this problem. So, leave it a little forward and then fold that in underneath so that it goes underneath here. Okay, then we get to the bonkers legs, but I love them. So we're going to bend them at the knee and split them. And this is the easiest way to show this whole thing. We're going to begin by, how do I want to begin here? I guess by bringing this up. And I'm going to bring it out. I'm going to bring this up, and I'm going to bring it out. I'm also going to bring this back piece out, and I'm even going to flip that down. I'm going to bring this back piece out and flip that down. And all of the leg now is kind of blown apart. The trick now is to move these hinges in here. And some people have said that they don't feel like the directions do a good job of showing this. I don't know, I feel like they do all right, but it is a bit of a bear to do because you got to bring it all the way down like that and then bring it in. So it should be squared off like this. Once that's done, you should be able to fold in the foot and bring down that whole piece over the foot. Love it. Let's do it again over here because I may have done it kind of quickly. So you want to basically take this piece and now it's straightened out and then you want to straighten it up. And it kind of almost makes like an L. Bring that up and then bring this piece over. And then bring these legs together. Once you have these legs together, you can come here and bend them at the waist. Now you're not bending him, let's note, you're not bending him at the waist. You're taking the pelvis piece in between his hips and you're bending the whole thing forward, the whole blue piece. Once you have that done, you can solidify the thighs back into the tank. And now we're going to push all of this down. When we push all of this down, this tab and this tab go into this little slot here, and there's another rectangular slot there. Oh, bring it down basically at the waist, and we bring all of that down and in. I need to solidify a couple of things, but basically, boom, in the end, here we have Quake in his tank mode. I love this transformation. I think it's ingenious the way the legs are done. I like the moving parts, and I like how they move. I'm going to give the transformation a 10. He was getting 8.75, now a 10 for the transformation. I mean, we're talking about a 9.5 here, no problem. You'll note that the stock Heater and Tiptop are on the side facing forward, though a lot of people say officially they're supposed to be facing backward, which is weird. There are also holes on the top of the guy, which I currently have my custom Siege Battle Masters in, just to show that those holes are there. Lay those aside. I mean, I'm not going to show the tank mode of the Titan's Return because that's far more stylized than what this is. Tremendous, really, honestly. And I guess, see, like, these are supposed to be for some weird reason facing back. I don't know why. I admit that the front here looks pretty odd. But you know what? Like, honestly, when I take this off and take this off, as weird as it sort of looks on camera, I'm not gonna lie. I think in hand, it worked out really, really well. I think in hand it looks great. Now, some people have said that they feel like this is the front. Okay, if you feel like that, then turn this. I know it's angled up, but I mean, you can always turn it around, I suppose, if you really want to. It would be nice if you could turn it without that going up, but, you know, such is life. But yeah, I mean, 9.5 for sure. Quake was one I wasn't going to get because I didn't think I needed it. And only for the fact that I can't find that other Titan's Return. I think I gave it away as part of a batch that I sold, or I should say I sold it with a batch that I sold by accident. But man, oh man, this guy, and for me personally, I think I'm going to use him with my custom Siege Battle Masters. Like, can they go on the side? He can. Can this guy? Yeah. No problem. No problem, put them on the side. I think this is what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to use my Siege Battle Masters as my buddies for the Legacy United Quake. 9.5. He's fantastic. Get him. And here we are once again, and here they are, so to speak. In terms of the Target Masters / Battle Masters, I think that my custom Battle Masters are infinitely better because if nothing else, they have articulation at the shoulder and at the hips. The new ones are literally just like G1. Nothing is improved on them, not one little bit. Then we have the main event of these two. I love the Titan's Return. The only gripe I have with him at all is that he lacks a waist. He has everything else. I guess an ankle tilt. I don't think he has an ankle tilt. No, but he does have wrist rotation. So a waist and I guess an ankle tilt. Stylized look, but I really like the dark colors here. Then we have this guy. And I personally think the transformation is fantastic. I love the leg. I love the way the two hinges move in here. I love that the inside folds out to become the full tread. In terms of articulation, he has really everything I could want, right down to a very deep ankle tilt. Maybe a wrist rotation, because I mean, this guy doesn't have a wrist. This guy does, go figure. The big thing is, though, that this guy, along with his two little Target Masters, clocks in at 95 grams. This is a huge, hefty, bulky deluxe. I do wish in tank mode that the, I guess, front of the tank looked a little more filled in. I'll say this, in hand, the tank looks a lot better than it does in picture or on video. And I do wish that the turret was able to rotate better in tank mode. Small gripes. I understand gripes here. Now, I will also note a couple of caveats that people mentioned. They said that they didn't like the guy because on them the chest was very loose. That's a QC issue, but if you have a loose chest that just flops down, then yeah, I can see how this guy might be on your worst list and be ruined. Another person said that his mushroom peg was so loose that both arms just fell off at a package and they keep falling off. Yeah, that would be an issue. If you avoid the QC issues, then I think my scores stand and this guy's fantastic. I think it's a great mold. I like the skull grin. I think this is a better use of that mold. But if you have encountered the QC issues, then I totally understand why the experience of this guy is ruined for you. I don't think the Battle Masters or the Target Masters are strong, but I do think Quake is. Let me know if you liked him, if you didn't like him, or fell somewhere in between. Maybe you were indifferent to him. I will say this though. Honestly, there's an argument for keeping this guy or having this guy. I think they're both really good representations of a fairly fringe character. Anyway, once again, let me know what you think about this guy. I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon, see what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. While you are at it, hit the subscribe button, stick around, have some fun with us here on the channel, and please, not for a moment, not for a second, do not forget that you right there, you do make a difference in the world. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights at the stop motion premieres or the old fashioned way right here inside the videos.